Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Simple Money Guys podcast, where we make money simple for you. I'm Greg, and as always, I'll be joined by John and Ryan. Join us today as we discuss some of the most essential money tips that'll help you take full control of your financial future. If you haven't yet, please give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at the Simple Money Guys, and please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts. It helps us a tremendous amount.
Oh, John, where are you at?
Yeah, no, I'm in Colorado right now. I was traveling.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Nice.
So my mom actually came out here for business with her company to Colorado Springs. And she's like, hey, would you want to come with me? And I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. And so came out, like basically met her out here and just been hanging and, working from the hotel room, really. I was chilling by the pool a little bit earlier. So it's pretty nice. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. So
it's cool, man.
Yeah, you were saying it's like 95 there too. Ryan, I can only imagine how hot it is by you right now.
Just as hot.
Really?
It's weird for Colorado, but
it's really hot in New York too. There must be like this crazy heat wave going across the country right now.
Yeah, probably.
I have avoided outside at all costs recently.
Now you know what it is to live in Texas.
All year round. It gets humid in Houston too, right?
It's very humid, but I mean the winter months are nice. You just wear a hoodie most of the time.
Really?
That's nice, yeah.
Winters in New York are brutal. There's a saying: if you could survive in New York winter, you could survive anywhere. Just because
I think I'd take the summers over the cold winters.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would. I'm getting pretty sick and tired of cold winters. Like, I think it was cool as a kid because you get like snow days off from school and everything, and you just kind of get tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking about being a kid, I have the numbers for my family home that we were talking a little bit about that I was going to purchase. So, I mean, it all depends on the appraisal. Let me pull them up real quick. But on the lower end of the home appraisal, it would end up cash flowing about 500 to 600 per month.
Man, that's pretty good.
Pretty good, and be a 10% cash and cash ROI. And then if it's on the higher end, which is very possible, I've looked at some comps in the area. Cash flow only about like 50 to 150, and then the ROI cash on cash would be about like 1%. So it's really dependent on what it could be. So
I don't know. I was just gonna say, so on the low end, like if it gets appraised low, it would be cash flowing low. Is that what you're saying?
No, it'd be cash flowing more if it gets appraised higher. On the lower end.
Okay.
You're paying less for it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So you want it to appraise lower.
Well, I'm conflicted because I'm buying this home for my dad. So, I want him to get the best deal possible, but I also want to get the best deal. This is why, like, in general, I try to avoid these things. But also at the same time, like, we both understand that the market's hot. So, like, dad cut me a deal.
Yeah.
It's a little tricky. We got to talk to, we have a lawyer and our FAs obviously getting involved too. So, I mean, preliminary stuff, it seems to make sense. I feel like, 10, 11% ROI for real estate is fantastic, especially if it's cash flowing. And I'm going to utilize your strategy, John. I'm going to just put money instead of saving every month a percentage of rent, saving money to go towards repairs and everything. I'm going to just keep a cash cushion. I used to prior to that, I would always think like it should be the best strategy to just take a percentage out of rent every week. But that's another reason for the higher cash flow monthly.
Yeah, I mean, if you have that basically emergency fund, I mean, there's no reason to save more of your cash flow. So
yeah, and then if something goes wrong and I have to take a good chunk of it out, then I'll start to save.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But I like it. We'll see. I'll continue to give you guys and the listeners as well updates, but I'm excited. You guys have known for a while I've been on the house hunt, so this is one that just might make a lot of sense.
You're not going to live there though, right?
No, it'll be a rental. And for the most part, I don't have any expectations of living there long term or anything.
So is it going to work like basically seller financing with your dad, or is it?
That's what has to still be worked out. There's a couple of, loopholes that we might try to, there's always ways to get around things in real estate, which is why, we love it so much. But like one thing that we were considering is right now he gets a big like veterans discount as well as like a senior citizen discount for
Oh,
property taxes. So it cuts out like somewhere between like 10 to 15% in property taxes. So if it
holy
works
cow.
out better where I could just take out something like a personal loan or something, keep the home in my dad's name, or just add myself onto it, give him the personal loan for the purchase, you know what I mean? Instead of actually transferring possession, having that lower annual tax payment. But again, there's a lot to be worked out. It's very early on.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even know if that's illegal. Like, should we keep that? Is that illegal? We'll
Just
see.
be
We'll
like,
see. If the
it's still in
IRS is
my
really
dad's
recording.
name.
but yeah, I mean, there's always small things like that in real estate that you could kind of work things through. And, even what's the limit of, I think you can only have like 10 mortgages in your own name. And after that, you have to get creative anyway. So
Yep, yep.
we'll start getting creative with number one, guys. That's
Why not? Why not start early if you're gonna have more properties? Yeah.
yeah. Oh, so we wanted to talk about this last week too. Um, 15 versus 30-year mortgages.
True.
What did you guys do for your homes?
So because interest rates are so low right now, I took out a 30-year mortgage because it's a 30-year fixed. Basically, the interest rate is gonna stay at 3%. That's the percentage I got for the next 30 years. So whether interest rates fluctuate up or down, I'm gonna have that 3% interest rate for 30 years until I either refinance or sell the property. And for me, it just made sense because I'm renting mine out. So, why pay my mortgage early in 15 years when I can essentially have it rented out and have tenants pay the mortgage?
Yeah.
And it with a lower monthly mortgage payment with the 30-year loan, I can also cash flow more. And there's even 40-year mortgages being brought up now that the housing moratorium
Yeah.
is starting to end.
As well as
And
20-year mortgages now,
20-year
I've heard.
mortgages, yeah. And so, in my opinion, if I could get a 40-year mortgage, I would even do that. Just because I'm making money by taking out by leveraging the loan. So I just think if you're going to rent it out and you can get a low interest rate, get as long of a loan as possible. In
Yeah.
my opinion,
Especially if it's a rental. Ryan, what'd
Yeah.
you end up doing? Because yours was a personal home.
Yeah, I did a 30-year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did 30 because I got a 2.5%, and
That's insane.
I'm investing the difference. Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I hope I get as low an interest rate as you guys. We'll have a
Shop
little competition.
around.
Yeah.
Shop
sure.
around, and then what I did at least was shop a bunch of different places, and Better Mortgage would try to beat every single one. So I just got better offers and eventually worked down to 2.5 and locked it in. So it was also like around election time, which is actually what I planned for because that's when everything was doom and gloom and the world was ending right before the election. So it was, so yeah, I locked it in there and it was good.
I was just gonna say you can also pay your mortgage off early. I mean, like there's
Yeah.
no one telling
Yeah.
you that you can't pay off your 30-year mortgage in 15 years. Like there's no downside to that. So I just think it's better to get a 30-year mortgage and pay it off as you please rather than to be stressed by you have to pay this off in 15 years. It's a much higher payment.
Much higher.
You do save an interest paid like over the long term, but again, the flexibility is lost with the 15-year mortgage.
Well, I think one of the whole great things about taking out a mortgage is it's good debt, quote unquote, good debt. It gives you flexibility. It gives you leverage to utilize your money elsewhere. But if you're taking out a 15-year mortgage, you get a lot less of that leverage because your monthly payments are so much higher. Yes, over the long period of time, you're paying less in interest. But if it's a rental property, things like that, kind of makes sense to have the tenant pay it down anyway. So yeah, I'm team 30-year as well. There are, I guess, some situations where, for some people, 15-year mortgages can make a lot of sense. If you want to just get it over with, like I could see that. But But for like a rental property, I feel like it's best to kind of spread it out as long as possible, because you're generally, the goal is for you not to be the one paying that mortgage down anyway, to
Yeah.
have that tenant do it. So even if you're paying
Yeah.
more in interest over a longer period of time, if you have lower monthly payments, you're able to have that tenant do it. So that's just
And
my 2 cents on that.
yeah, and over time, you're going to be able to increase the rents, whereas the payment is fixed for 30 years. So,
Exactly.
I mean, just my situation, my personal situation, I'm paying $1,600 per month on my mortgage, and rents are anywhere from, if I rented out the entire thing, 24 to 2,500. But over the next 5-10 years, that's going to go up to maybe 3,000, 3,500, and so the longer I hold it, the more money I'm going to be cash flowing on top of it. There's really no reason to pay it off early, and unless you're specifically wanting to just have a house free and clear, and then you do get 100% cash flow. But yeah, there's no rush.
Yeah, I agree. Did you guys go through big institutions like big banks to get your loans, or did you, Ryan? It sounds like you shopped around a decent amount to different places.
Yeah, I used Better Mortgage,
Okay.
but I brought a lot of offers from smaller ones, and I just had a bunch of lenders competing, and ultimately they gave me the best rate, no origination fees. 2.5 was that's kind of what I would be happy. I would have been happy with anything under 2.75.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. Something I've always been interested in. I don't know if you experimented at all. Have you ever tried private money?
I haven't, but I'm sure you could probably get a good rate there.
Yeah, we should definitely like try to bring on someone who's done hard money or private money before, because I know a lot of my friends that are really into real estate like are on like home number 4 or 5. They say hard money is the way to go in general with taking out loans.
I wonder if we can bring on this username mortgages are boring.
We probably could. That'd be very beneficial, I think. Just because, we can't really speak to the whole hard money aspect of everything.
Yeah.
But I think that about wraps us up for this week. As always, we are the Simple Money Guys, making money simple for you. I'm Greg, also known as the Daily Investor.
My name is John at Johnny Finance.
And I'm Ryan, the Money CEO on social. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next episode.